When WikiLeaks released John Podesta's emails to the public, Donna Brazile was one of many media operatives that was revealed to have been giving Hillary Clinton an unfair advantage over Bernie Sanders by colluding with her and trying to help her. Specifically, she gave Hillary Clinton a question in advance of a town hall on CNN, and she didn't give a question to Bernie Sanders. Now, the person who broke this story is Jordan Sheridan. Now, he actually confronted her about this, and this was what she had to say.
I have never been privileged as long as I've been not just a part of CNN, which, let me just say, of how proud I am to have been a contributor for CNN and other news outlets. And no one has ever shared questions with any of us.
So she's contending here that it would have been impossible for her to leak a question to Hillary Clinton in advance because CNN, quote, has never ever shared questions with any of us. But we now know that that was a lie, and we even knew back then that this was a lie. And when Jordan tried to press her on this issue, she even accused him of being sexist.
What about you passing a question to Hillary Clinton's campaign, the town hall before?
Trump badger women, you're welcome.
Yes, a journalist asking a question is badgering you.
That's what happens when you're caught in a lie and you're backed into a corner, because you then try to attack the character of the person accusing you of said lie. But nobody was buying it, and Jordan wasn't the only journalist who Donna Brazile was lying to.
She insisted to me that she hadn't leaked the questions. In other words, she lied to me. She lied to me.
We all know that she was lying, that's no secret, but after months of trying to perpetuate this lie, she finally is coming forward and kind of telling the truth. So in an article for Time titled "Russian DNC Narrative Played Out Exactly as They Hoped," ultimately she paints herself as well as the DNC as the victims. So she confesses that she did in fact give Hillary Clinton a town hall question in advance. But, I mean, again, it's her that's the victim. It's not the Bernie Sanders supporters that she screwed over. So she states, "When I was asked last July to step in temporarily as DNC chair, I knew things were amiss. The DNC had been hacked and thousands of staff emails and documents were plastered on various websites. Staff were harassed, morale suffered, and we lost weeks of planning. Donors were harassed and fundraising fell off." Then in October, a subsequent release of emails revealed that among the many things I did in my role as a Democratic operative and DNC vice chair, prior to assuming the interim DNC chair position, was to share potential town hall topics with the Clinton campaign. I had been working behind the scenes to add more town hall events and debates to the primary calendar, and I helped ensure those events included diverse moderators and addressed topics vital to minority communities. My job was to make all our Democratic candidates look good, and I worked closely with both campaigns to make that happen. But sending those emails was a mistake I will forever regret. By stealing all of the DNC's emails and then selectively releasing those few, the Russians made it look like I was in the tank for Secretary Clinton. Despite the strong public support I received from top Sanders campaign aides in the wake of those leaks, the media narrative played out just as the Russians had hoped, leaving Sanders supporters understandably angry and sowing division in our ranks. In reality, not only was I not playing favorites, the more competitive and heated the primary got, the harder DNC staff worked to be scrupulously fair and beyond reproach. In all the months the Russians monitored the DNC's email, they found just a handful of inappropriate emails with no sign of anyone taking action to disadvantage the Sanders campaign. But the damage was done. Politics has never been considered a clean sport, but 2016 marked a new low. The DNC, a political party committee dedicated in part to defending free and fair elections, was attacked by the Russians while the Republican nominee for president openly encouraged it. This was not a Hollywood movie about rogue spies and super agents. This was real life. So with this confession here, she took one step forward and two steps back. And some of what she said is really aggravating. So she states here, "The Russians made it look like I was in the tank for Secretary Clinton." Donna, the Russians didn't make it look like you were in the tank for Hillary Clinton. The reason why it appeared as though you were in the tank for Hillary Clinton was because you were, in fact, in the tank for Hillary Clinton. And these emails didn't reveal anything new to progressives. We already knew that the DNC and the so-called neutral political pundits were trying to sabotage Bernie Sanders' campaign, but the emails just showed us the extent to which this was occurring and just validated progressives, who many were painting as conspiratorial, because we dared to suggest that the primaries were rigged. And now, lo and behold, looks like it actually was rigged, and we have evidence to back it up. And there were other emails that showed that you actually actually had contempt for Bernie Sanders. I mean, there was one email where you said you couldn't talk to Bernie Sanders because you were afraid that you wouldn't be able to hold yourself back from cussing the Sanders people out. So don't give us this bullshit. You're still lying here, and you need to tell the truth. I mean, if you're going to tell us the truth, don't just tell us the half-truth. Actually be 100% honest with us, because we know you're lying. You're a horrible liar. We see right through your bullshit. She also said that the media narrative played out just as the Russians had hoped, and they successfully sowed division within our ranks. Not at all. That division was already there because of what the DNC and Hillary Clinton did. I mean, Hillary Clinton became very divisive when she decided to go negative. She attacked Bernie Sanders as a sexist, as a racist, and then she coordinated with the media to plant narratives about Bernie Sanders supporters being sexist Bernie bros. Had they not done that, had the DNC not just been brazenly in the tank for Hillary Clinton, had the media not been doing propaganda for Hillary Clinton, which was obvious to us, then the Russians couldn't do anything to piss us off. But we were already pissed off, and we just had evidence because of the WikiLeaks emails, which, by the way, we still don't know that the Russians actually released. And Julian Assange of WikiLeaks maintains that it wasn't the Russians, it was a DNC insider, which makes sense. So we're not buying this bullshit, and the Russians, even if it was the Russians that released these emails, you're just angry because you got caught. The DNC's guilty. You're guilty, Donna Brazile. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is guilty. And had you not been doing these corrupt, horrible things to benefit Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders, then there would be nothing to piss us off to begin with. They couldn't have released anything on you that would have sowed division within our ranks. But because you guys decided to be corrupt and collude with Hillary Clinton to make the Democratic primaries unfair, that's why we were pissed off. And she also said here, for her last lie, she states, they found just a handful of inappropriate emails with no sign of anyone taking action to disadvantage the Sanders campaign. Again, this is another lie that's easily disproven. So people within the DNC were caught creating narratives to give people in the media, such as yourself, about how they wanted to use Bernie Sanders' presumed atheism against him. And when people began to suspect that the DNC was actively trying to sabotage Bernie's campaign, well, then they began to create Bernie narratives to sell to the media. One email reads, wondering if there's a good narrative for a story, which is that Bernie never ever had his act together, that his campaign was a mess. That way, they could play off the rigging of the primaries, saying, it's not a DNC conspiracy, it's because they never had their act together. So, I mean, you really have nerve to say that nobody was taking action to disadvantage Bernie Sanders. It's a complete lie, and we don't believe you, so it makes no sense to me why you would admit to one truth when you are still lying about other things. So, I mean, you are responding to a lie. You're asking for forgiveness. You're saying you regret this lie with more lies. So what's it going to be? Are you going to be truthful, Donna, or are you going to continue to lie to the American people? It makes no sense to me, because I think in releasing this statement, she did more harm for her public image that she's currently trying to repair than good. So, I mean, Donna Brazile, as someone who was a contributor to CNN, as someone who was the interim DNC chair, she represents everything wrong with the media and with the DNC. You are a corrupt politician, and you just carry water for the powerful. That's not unfair just to Bernie Sanders. That's unfair to the people who supported Bernie Sanders, who donated to Bernie Sanders, who phone banked for Bernie Sanders, who actually canvassed for Bernie Sanders while you sat on your ass in a cozy CNN studio and did propaganda for Hillary Clinton. So please, spare me the bullshit. Spare me this victim card that you're trying to play. Nobody believes that you're the victim. The victims are the people who you betrayed by giving Hillary Clinton an unfair advantage over Bernie Sanders, and you should be ashamed of yourself for even doing that.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.